We're here at the local Lowe's. We're gonna get some couplings that go on into this tubing for my Volkswagen engine mount stand thingy. And I brought someone along with me. You ready?
You brought someone along?
Yeah, that drove me here.
Yeah.
So we just left Lowe's. I got me one of these 1.5-inch black iron pipes. Slide over that. It has like a little burr on the end of it where you can't slide it in over that tubing. But we'll get that then. And then I got me one of these. This will go over that collar and this will slide into that. Then I'll have me a stand ready to go. Ugh. But anyway, nothing. That's why I can't take her anywhere.
Sorry.
It's okay, I still love you. Today, I'm just going to be building an engine stand. I'm not really going to be doing a whole lot of anything else because it's Labor Day weekend and I really don't care. Just don't give a shit. Don't care about working on anything. You ever have that feeling? I do. But I did get a package in the mail. I kind of already opened it. I got some parts I need. I got a push rod, tool, whatever you measure the length of your push rod you're going to need, since I'm going to be a wider engine than stock. Got one of those. It's cheap. And I got a deck height measuring tool. Didn't have one. Let's see what else I got. Oh, I got a case. I thought that was pretty cool. You just stick this in the engine case and it tells you what size bearings it's already in it. Even though I'm probably going to use a brand new case, but I thought that was pretty cool. And it was on sale. It was like $4. I thought that was pretty neat. Got a rear main seal, complete gasket kit, and I got a Lighten flywheel. It's a cast flywheel though. It's not a forged, but it's a 12-pound cast flywheel. It's only $60. I still can't get over how cheap these Volkswagen parts are compared to building like a V8 engine. It's just, this stuff is dirt cheap. Tools are cheap, everything's cheap. But we're gonna get started building a engine stand for that. But I'm really thinking about just ordering a new block. Heck, a new block with everything done to it for this engine, for a Volkswagen engine, is $800. Well, about $900. A brand new block with everything you can do, all the machining work, everything. $800. I can't get over how cheap that is. At least for me. I don't know. I don't know if you guys think that's cheap, but to me that's cheap. After building so many engines and stuff for V8s and stuff, that is just cheap. But anyway, I'm going to start building this engine stand. Well, as you can see, I got the new pipe in there. I'm going to drill it and get it ready, and then I guess I'll slide this other pipe in, get it ready to go. I got to do a little bit of deburring on it so it'll slide in there. I got a hole drilled, and I got my little pin. It just slides in there, keeps that from turning. I got that put in. Word of advice, I use my little stair-step, my little Christmas tree, whatever, stair-step drill bit. Still kind of warm. But word of advice is get the one, if you're going to buy one of these Christmas tree bits, whatever you want to call it, get the one that has the double cut instead of the single. So I have this one with the single. This thing sucks. Don't buy that. Buy one that has, turn right here. Buy one that has the double cutting edges on it, whatever you want to call it. Don't waste your money on one of those single ones. Biggest hunk of crap I ever bought. And when you're cutting through stuff like that, use some kind of cutting oil. There's my little cutting oil. Keep the bit cool. He'll cut good. It took me like less than 5 seconds to cut that. But anyway, to drill that, I mean. I'm going to cut this threaded piece off this piece of tubing, because it has like a little burr in there and you can't slide the other one in. So I want to take the chop saw and cut that off, and we'll get it ready. I got the engine stand part inside the tubing. I had to do a relief cut. It got halfway in and all of a sudden it just stopped. It would not move anymore, so I ended up having to do a relief cut with my speedy cut there, and I hammered it the rest of the way in, but as far as I can get it, because I messed up the other end of it. The threaded other end, it kind of got mangled a little bit, but it'll be alright. But I ended up cutting this end off too to get me closer towards right here where help you out with some more weight. But I'm going to take my welder, I'm going to fill this, I'm going to put a couple of little beads in right here, nothing major, and put really one on the end. It shouldn't come out anyway, but I'm just going to do that just for peace of mind. I got a series of little spot welds done. I know it's not going to come off because that thing is on there tight. but I just did that just for peace of mind. So now I'm going to slide it through here, but I'm going to drill, I guess, a hole right here, and we'll weld one of these nuts on there. And I have one of those long through-threaded bolts that I just threw it on there and hold it in place. Okay, I got my hole drilled, as you can see. Got her drilled out. I'm going to slide that bolt in there like that and let gravity do its thing and keep it right there. And I'm going to take it and tack weld it all the way around it. I'm going to do, actually first though, I'm going to clean out the inside there. I got oil residue and crap all in there, but I'll clean all that out, and I'm going to tack all around that, and it should be ready to go. Really easy. This saved me a lot of money. I've already spent over $1,000 on engine parts, and figured why not. I already had this engine stand right here. A lot of people don't like using these because they don't trust just two bolts holding their engine up. To me, it's not that big of a deal. People have done it for years. It's just all on your all on what you think or what you want to do with it. Some people would think, well, why didn't you just use the one that's already on there? But I can't get a flywheel on and off because it's all the way around it and make it a little bit. I want to be able to work on it if I had to and do all kinds of stuff, and I don't know. I just want to use this thing. I've had this actually for several years. I only used it once. So, well, I got this welded on. You can see I got all that welded on. I got a nut, or I got the bolt in there. I put anti-seize on the thread there. And what I'm going to do now, it's a little warm, is I'm going to weld. I put a little collar, a little sleeve right here because I didn't really like this big gap right there. So I just made this little sleeve that just fits right over here, right over that, like that. And it'll slide in there. I'm going to tack weld it on the sides where it won't go anywhere. And I'm going to call this thing done. I'll primer this end. Well, I ain't even going to worry about it. But I'll get that primered. I'll get that tacked in place, and I think I'm going to call this thing done. Here she is all in her glory. I got her welded a little bit, and you can see where I ground down the corners of the little tack welds there, and I put a big glob on both ends right there so that it only goes in so far and it stops. And it goes all the way around, so not a big deal. And I can cinch it down with a bolt there. I mean, for $7, I already had this. I bought this, the engine stand piece. It came with a bench mount. Right there it is. But I don't have a bench here to mount it on. So I figured I'd utilize this. So for $7 for this, with the bolt and all that, and then I already had this. I think I paid $12 for this at a Volkswagen show many years ago. I used it one time, and that was just to mock up an engine. And then my buddy of mine borrowed it. But other than that, it's been sitting. I started to sell it a long time ago or throw it away. It's like, I'll never use that. I'm glad I didn't. But she's all mocked up, ready to go. $7, hey, you can't beat it. It's good enough for me. I'm not going to be mass producing several hundreds of Volkswagen engines on this little rinky-dink engine stand. I mean, it's good enough for me. But I think I'm going to call it a video. I did meet someone cool though last night at my local drag strip. Mike Finnegan from Roadkill. He was down there. It's pretty cool. He's a really cool guy. If you ever get a chance to meet him or know he's going to have a meet and greet, I suggest go seeing it. He's like an old school hot rodder. Really cool guy. And check out his show if you've never seen it on Roadkill. Really cool stuff to watch. I like watching stuff like that. I like watching it way better than other TV shows on Discovery Channel from Texas there. So anyway, but I guess I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to take this thing out for a ride and go see one of my buddies I haven't seen in a while. Tell some stories and trade pocket knives and tell a few more lies about this and that. So hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll catch you in the next one. If you like what you see, subscribe. I do stuff like this piddle far around, I guess. And maybe next week, hopefully, we'll be back on the rail buggy drift toy, whatever. I need to come up with a name for this thing. If you guys think of a name that we can call this, shoot it down in the comments. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. Marissa told me the other day I need to name it. So if you guys think of a name, give me a name. We'll call it whatever. But it's funny because actually, real quick, it's funny because kids and well, not just kids, but a bunch of people is into drifting now, which back in the day we didn't know what it was. We just, over at my dad's building, we would actually take this and go drift around some of the used to be woodsheds that used to be out there. And we had a figure 8 track out there, and we just slide around the corners and stuff. Especially, it was more fun in the gravel naturally because you can slide it with the steering brakes. But you can actually, we drift this thing around the corner in the what little driveway we have, asphalt we take it and drift around the corner there. It was a lot of fun. I'll take you out there one time or one day and show you guys the parking lot where we used to do it. But it's funny because now it's a big thing. Back in the day, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, we'd take this thing and just do that and didn't think nothing of it. Now they have competitions, which I always thought that was pretty funny. Now they have competitions. But I mean, around here it's not that big, but I think that would be pretty cool to do with this thing again. That's why I decided to do this build. But anyway, I'm rambling on about stupid stuff. But you guys like what you see, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.